All right. So a while back, I mentioned that I was kind of going through a transformation of losing some weight. It wasn't on purpose, actually. It just kind of something that happened. Like I just got tired one day and started eating differently. And so I didn't do regular updates here because that's really not the point of my channel. But I am trying to share some personal matters here because I think it's important. And so I wanted to touch on weight loss and some of the things that I don't hear a lot about, that a lot of people don't talk about. And so to give you an update, I started this a while back. Let me look up the date here real quick. Sorry, I have an actual calendar. Sorry, this was not planned. I started this journey back on 7/24 of 2023. That was the first week that I tracked my weight loss. To date, I've lost about 45 pounds. When I started, it was 214 pounds. Now, for those that don't know, I'm in a light frame. I'm 5'4", so weighing that much is quite a bit. My knees and back hurt. So enough of that. The issues that nobody really talks about, things nobody talks about within weight loss, is one, that when you start losing weight, your clothing doesn't fit anymore. It changes. I've had to change multiple sizes down. This has been multiple thrift store shopping trips to do so because shirts didn't fit anymore. I was wearing an extra large comfortably. That means like it was fitting well. I'm now in a medium, just to give you an idea of that change there. And pants are significantly smaller now. The plus side of that is that your clothes get cheaper. When I was thrifting, I found that anything that was extra large or to the pant size I was wearing, I forget what I was in now. I was in like a 40-inch waist. It was that bad. Or a 42, if you will, which equates to like a 40-inch waist. They were expensive. It is expensive. Larger clothing costs more money, even at thrift. Now, I understand when you go to like a Walmart, it's going to cost more, right? Because it's more fabric to manufacture, per se. But no, thrift was even more expensive. It was like $8, $9, $10 for a pair of used pants. I can get pants now for $4 or $5 used, depending on the season, what's going on. I like to wear these flannels in the winter. I wear them like women wear their not shawls, but those loose fitting sweaters, the Afghans or whatever. I forget what they're called. They're comfortable. I like them, but these in the large sizes are expensive. It can be 20 something bucks at like a Walmart or $24 over at Target to get something like that. But anyway, so sizing down, I've had to get rid of all the clothes. Now, I boxed my clothing up in case I get big again. I didn't want to get rid of that clothing right away, just in case something should happen. I'd like to be able to go back to the clothes that I once knew and liked. So there is that people don't talk about. You're going to have to replace your clothing. I'm on a fairly well regimented weight loss setup. It's not, I'm just watching calories. I'm still eating regular. I still enjoy things like Pop-Tarts. I still enjoy sweets. I just cut my sugar back a lot. The first video I talked about this, I said I cut my sugar down because I was having almost 1,000 calories of sugar in my coffee in the morning, just in the morning. And that wasn't even including the rest of the stuff I ate. I'm losing 2 to 3 pounds per week. I know the dietary recommendation is 2 pounds to be safe. It's 2 to 3. But I've lost a lot. You guys can do the math from today's date back. There have been better weeks. Early on, I lost a lot more because I was cutting sugar out. The loss in weight was dramatic from cutting just sugar out. The other portion that I want to talk about is something that women talk about here and there. It's not talked about as often. And men never talk about, but I'm gonna tell you right now, body dysmorphia, I've said before, is a thing, and it is a thing. Even at this weight, I still see myself as being fat. I still see, like, I have a top-down view. When I look down, I see a belly still that isn't there. I still see discomfort in my body, and it's not there. Like, I know it's not because I'm not that size anymore, but I still see it there. And additionally, this is the weirdest thing. And if you can resonate with this, great. Maybe it just needs to be said out loud more. But I feel more uncomfortable being in better shape now, being more physically attractive to a point. I feel more uncomfortable now. I miss being bigger because I was used to that for so long. I miss being overweight because it was familiar. And this is new. I don't know how to deal with part of this sometimes. And I think it's important that a male person says this. If you want, share this with somebody who's male that doesn't hear it. But, you know, I'm going to be 40 soon here. And this is the first time since my 20s I've been low in weight. Now, I'm trying to get to 160. That was where I was at in my 20s. And my BMI says it should be lower. But BMI is a light factor. We've talked about before how it's kind of inaccurate. But there are multiple factors that point to a target weight I should be at. I'm not going to disclose that here because I'm not sure if I'm going there yet or not. I don't know if I want to be that low. Pardon me, guys. But I was not expecting to feel uncomfortable being smaller. I wasn't. I was expecting to be more confident, more. I enjoy the clothes I'm wearing. I enjoy sometimes how I look, but I'll tell you, when I was bigger, it just was so commonplace that I felt more comfortable there. So, if you don't think the body dysmorphia in men is a thing, it is. It does happen. I can attest that I have it because I still think I'm overweight, and I am definitely not. I'm getting better. I'm still in the category, I think, of being kind of overweight, not fully. I think before I was considered obese, being at 214 on a 5'4" frame. So no, I don't think I'm obese, but I also don't think I'm like thin by any means, even though I've been told by multiple people that I look fine. So, that is a thing, but I don't hear people talk about that. You don't hear about how quickly you're going to have to change your clothes. You also don't hear too much about how you may feel uncomfortable being in better shape. So just to put an update out there, no, it's not my usual content. This is generally a political commentary channel, but I just thought I should put that there. I felt it was relevant and important. If you're feeling the same things, please feel free to comment. If you have questions about what I've done, anything like that, I'll be glad to give you the details for what I've done to change what I'm eating, to change my eating habits, things like that. Cutting sugar was extremely difficult. I can try to give you some tips there, but that was one of the hardest things to do, was cutting the sugar. The rest was pretty easy for me. I know it's different for everybody, but the sugar, I had a huge problem with sugar. And so I've dealt with that. I feel pretty good. I still enjoy sugar, just not in the mass quantities I used to. So anyway, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you have any comments, leave those as well. I'm open to questions and stuff. So